Good evening, everybody out in HeroClix land. As you can see, I am by myself tonight. Now, I don't have an explanation as to why I'm by myself, other than I'm the only one here, because I don't know where Nate is. I got a little slower than I wanted. One, because he wasn't here, and I was trying to figure out exactly where he was at. He hasn't answered me yet, so I don't know what's going on. So it looks like I'm going to be solo tonight, which is fine. You guys only need me in your life. I know. It's just, Nate's not that important. This show's all about me. It's not about him. I know. Anyway, so I know what's up with that. The other thing that's happened is I got over here to hook everything up, or just normally we just turn everything on. It's like bada bing. Well, apparently the power had went out sometime just before or since we were last in the room. And so everything, I had to boot the computer up. I had to reset some things that had to do a few things extra that we normally have to do. It slowed me down a little bit. And plus some of the stuff that I was doing, especially on this keyboard, Nate usually does. Like for right now, there's music in the background and I have no earthly idea why. Let me see if I can get that off. I have no idea why that's on. Oh, I know what's happening. I'm hearing myself on playback somewhere. Hold on a second. Let me find out where that playback's coming from. It's got to be off the computer. I guess maybe I'm still on YouTube. Like I said, all the settings got all burgered up. So as soon as I fix this, we'll start talking. Let's see here. I know where it's coming from. It's got to be Auxxit. There we go. Let me mute Auxxit. There. Actually, I haven't even started Auxxit yet. How about that? It's got me all messed up. Give me a second. I'll fix everything. Wonder where I'm hearing the feedback from, though. I don't know if that's coming from. So welcome to the Howard Doesn't Know What the Hell He's Doing show. Hope you all enjoy it. Oh, there's YouTube. All right, let me copy that. And YouTube might be where my bleed through's coming through. Let me mute that. There, fix that one. I know a little bit. And all right, we got that fixed. Now just let me get Auxxit stream going, and then we'll start talking about something that you guys want to hear about, rather than making fun of me for not knowing what I'm doing. Actually, I kind of do know what I'm doing. It's just I wasn't prepared. Usually I don't have to do all this stuff. Okay. Stream. All right, we got the stream going now on Auxxit. Sorry guys, we had to you guys in Auxxit are joining us a little bit late. We had some semi-technical difficulties. One, I'm by myself. I don't know where my partner is. Two, the power had went off here and I had to reset everything, and took me a minute to get everybody going. So anyways, welcome to the stream. You really haven't missed anything other than me looking like an idiot. So, well, some of you say, well, that's just like that every week. It's the same show. Anyway, yeah, see, Dennis is quick to point that out because he's very distanced away. He knows this, and usually I make fun of him for his Mexican skills and not knowing what he's doing. So there you go. He finally gets to make fun of me. Maybe I'm hanging out with him too much. Maybe I'm becoming Mexican. Guys, if you're watching the show, I'm not racist. I promise. Dennis is my best friend. I don't. I can. I'm the only one that can probably get away with making fun of him like that. But no, I'm not. That's not the case at all. So, if any new people are out there, look, I'm not. I'm not being racist or anything. I'm just trying to pick on Dennis. All right. So, lots of stuff has happened and continue to happen. Things are happening today. That are crazy. All right, so let's start off with smash and destroy news. All right, and it's multifaceted. Smash and destroy. As you know, we haven't really. We've kind of avoided the question of what is going to be at the Rock Cup, what we're playing with, and all we've been saying is the latest set. That's because WizKids hasn't given us like the ultimate confirmation that we're going to. That you're, I'm laughing at Dennis. Sorry, they haven't really given us total confirmation of when Smash and Destroy is going to be released. However, I've been talking to them nearly every day, and I talk to the brand manager, and he's the one that will say, hey, he's monitoring everything and making sure everything's going to be in place. So he tentatively was telling me that the pre-release they felt like the pre-release was going to be April 30th, and that May 14th would be the release. And even though I've known that for a while, I haven't publicly said that. So I just let that be until we got total confirmation. Although I felt very confident that that's what was going to happen. Now, I've still not got that confirmation, but then all of a sudden today I saw where some venues had already got Smash and Destroy. I also saw where they were stating that there was a pre-release date, a release date of April 30th, which is 2 weeks earlier. I also know that most distributors, or at least two of the three distributors, main distributors for HeroClix, don't have Smash and Destroy in their warehouse. So there's it's the same distributor that sent stuff early on Spider-Verse, but I don't think this necessarily was the same warehouse. Did the same thing, and I think sent some stuff early on Smash and Destroy, although not quite as bad. So nobody has set their tournaments up. Nobody has said when the pre-release is for sure yet. And I think that the solicitation or whatever that is for April 30th is an error. I don't have confirmation of that. I've been talking. As soon as I saw all this, I immediately reached out to WizKids, and who told me that the majority of their day was trying to figure this out. That this was all. It caught them by surprise too. They don't know exactly what's happened, and they're on top of it, and they're working it out. And I told them that what I needed to know for many different reasons, mostly for my planning of everything, is when is Smash and Destroy, when is the release date? And they haven't told me yet, and it won't be. So anybody that thinks, I guess what I'm trying to tell you is, not so fast, my friends, as Lee Corso would say. Don't lock in and think that Smash and Destroy is April 30th. I'm not saying that it's not. That WizKids may very well tell us Monday that it is. I hope that it isn't. I really don't. I think that that's a little. I think I just hope that it isn't. I had hoped and planned on Smash and Destroy being a pre-release on the 30th, and then the release day actually was going to be during our event, and I think that that was okay. I mean, obviously, we would have liked to have had a newer set, but I think that, like we did last year, maybe an unreleased set. But the problem is it's all about timing, and the fact that the way that things are in the world right now, and also that sets the next set's Lantern Legacy. Would have loved to have Lantern Legacy as a sealed event at the Rock Cup at H4H, but it was too far out, and I think it was like just a little too hard to get here, and maybe more so because of the tariffs and because of everything coming to a creeping halt. I think all those things have affected us. So I mean, that's just the way that it is. Um, and so my point is I think we will all find out together on Monday when the pre-release and the release is. Again, I'm kind of hoping that it is April 30th and May 14th. Honestly, for our event, the best thing would have been uh, it would have been a pre-release of May 14th, our and a release of the end of May. I mean, that we realize we're not dumb that having a new set just releasing would help us some. But I feel very confident either way. I think our pricing is enough, and I think our people love the event enough that maybe we lose a small percentage of people, if any at all, because of the set being released a week earlier. I don't know. I don't. Maybe I don't know if people. It wouldn't end my excitement. It wouldn't keep me. Me myself, if I was just a player and with the pricing, if you would have told me that we were playing with Infinity Challenge boosters, I'd been okay with it. I mean, that's just me. I just love playing sealed. It doesn't really. I like the newer sets. I like unreleased sets just like everybody else. But even though I would have been disappointed a little bit that it wasn't a brand new set, I would have still been okay. I would have supported the event and I would have went and played because I enjoy playing sealed. Um, that's just it. Now, how's that going to affect? There's also a thing about timing where if Smash is released on 30th, does it become legal for the Cup? Technically, by WizKids rules, it would, but I can also assure you that we will put out something saying that Smash is not going to be allowed at the Cup in team building. I have a big say so in that, and I can tell you that that's going to happen like 99% chance unless my team of people and Scott Porter and everybody is totally the other way around, which I don't think that they would be. And the reason, and this isn't uncommon, there's been trying to remember. Was it last year that Masters got released at the same time we were having Nationals or Worlds, and WizKids, I think it was Nationals, and WizKids said it was not legal for constructed, even though it would technically have been legal also. And for 20 years, I remember many instances of where set releases happened at the time of a major event, even though they were technically legal, because realizing how much time and effort went into building teams, that those sets were not allowed, and that would be the course I believe that we would take. So if it's a May 14th release, it doesn't matter. Because it's by the release date, not by the pre-release date. So I'm hoping that it is not an April 30th. It also really buggers things up because technically we should have had our pre-release right now. If it's April, see, what is it right? Today is the 11th. And the pre-release should be this coming week on the 16th. If the release is on the 30th, and I know that they don't have stuff in the warehouse. In fact, my stuff would have already been shipped to me from one of my two distributors had that been the case, and I just don't believe I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I hope it doesn't. I mean, it's also possible. Sometimes WizKids does they do a week before, so it's possible they could go 23 and 30 or 30. I mean, there's lots of possibilities. I hope that they at minimum stick to what I was anticipating and what I was told was probably going to happen, and that would be the 30th and the 14th. And anyway, we'll all find that. Like I said, we'll all find that out together. Dennis says, yeah, they banned Masters of Time for constructed. So I anticipate. So if that happens, I mean, basically, you can be assured that Smash is not going to be legal for the Rock Cup and for Silver Age. But again, don't take that to heart. We will make an announcement if that occurs. There's no need to make an announcement right now. And I do have people, judges and Scott and everybody that I listen to, and they might totally convince me that we should make it legal, but I don't believe we should. Now, that being said, if any of you guys follow Facebook, you know I've been very active on Facebook in defense in the last couple of days. Um, it's really kind of silly. I shouldn't have been in defense. I bought a bunch of Spider-Verse retail chase boosters, and I also bought WizKids changed their policy a little over 2 weeks ago on chase retail boosters. The rule has always been that you can only buy 2 to 4 or whatever per store, and that you were only allowed to get so many, and that they were kind of a reward. And they kind of left the store. I know there's some solicitations, like the Spider-Verse said that you couldn't resell them at all, but I also know that I've still got some bleed through somewhere, and I don't know where it's coming from. Where is that coming from? Let me see if I can fix that. Is it going to be here? It's not that. It's not that. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know which one of the things. It's kind of light on my end, so I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, back to where I was at. So WizKids changed their policy 2.5 weeks ago. I was ordering. I was ordering Smash and Destroy. I've actually was. If you don't know it, I'll tell you that I've not been very happy with one of my distributors, even though I love my rep, and they've been really good to me and everything else, but they've not been together on WizKids, on HeroClix products for the last couple of sets, and it's caused me to do a lot of scrambling. So my plan is to, my plan was to switch. I'm in the process of switching my HeroClix. I will not get rid of my distributor because I like my rep and they do take care of me and other things. And in fact, they have some things that I can't get anywhere else. Bandai product, for example. But I'm switching HeroClix to another distributor that has more stuff in stock and wants my business very bad, and have given me good prices to get that business. And they also keep HeroClix in stock after release date. My other distributor, once they kind of treated HeroClix the way they do Yu-Gi-Oh, and they kind of treat it the way they do Pokemon and everything else. Once that initial sell, that initial order is gone, they don't restock. And without the restock, I order HeroClix pretty regularly, almost every week. Sometimes I do order every week. So it's frustrating to me when I need something and it's not there. So ends up what I do is I buy from the other 2 distributors I have, and I tag on to stuff that I need to make an order and yada yada. You guys don't need to all hear that. The point is I buy HeroClix from several sources, and I've been dissatisfied. So I'm switching to a new one, and the new one has been doing very well. So I ended up ordering a bunch of Smash and Destroy and a bunch of Lantern and a bunch of things from him. I like doubled and tripled my orders from what I normally do. I'm talking about buying like 150 to 200 bricks, plus the stuff that I bought from WizKids for their cup. Lots of stuff. So in that process, I found out that the policy had changed for retail chase boosters, and they changed it to where a venue could buy 1 retail chase booster for every 2 bricks that they buy. And I was asked how many I'd want. I said, well, I want 1 for every case, 1 for every 2 bricks. That's a no-brainer to me. So I ordered that on Smash and Destroy. I ordered that on Lantern. I've got them all coming in. You guys, if you haven't noticed, I have a special price, a very special price bundle where you can get order from my directly from LuckyDiceCafe.net. It's there if you don't if you're not aware of it. You can go to Lucky Di not Cafe. Oh my God, LuckyDiceGames.net. I'm sorry, Cafe has been so much in my brain for 7 8 years that it's hard to not say Lucky Dice and Cafe behind it. But LuckyDiceGames.net. George, you should get your order in. I know you're going to be here and you can pick it up while you're here. And I'm pretty damn sure, George, you want the bundle deal if you haven't seen it already. That's George. He's from the Philippines. He'll be here at the Cup. He's flying in. But you get a case, a sealed case, and a retail chase booster from Smash and Destroy for $357, which I think is a pretty darn good deal. Now, so you guys need to get your orders in. You can choose pickup in store. If you pick up in store, then I'll have it sitting here waiting for you if you're coming to the Cup. But we're more than glad to ship it, and we'll calculate shipping out and the whole 9 yards for you. Now, so when I did that, when I placed my order, I noticed that there was a lot of Spider-Verse Chase retail boosters at the distributor. And I said, hey, can I buy these too? And then the answer was, yeah, let us check. And I said, what does it apply in those two? He says, let us check. So they ends up, long story short, is after conferring with WizKids said yes, but it had to be based on the number of boosters that I bought or any more boosters that I bought. So I had to buy more HeroClix to be able to get the booster. So I bought more Spider-Verse. I bought a bunch of stuff just to be able to get those Chase retail boosters. So it isn't like I just paid for the Chase retail boosters and got them. I was able to get those, and I was able to get, and I ordered a bunch more product. And so when I got those, I put them out for sale at in my opinion, I did my research, at below what everybody else was selling them for. And people got bent out of shape about it, some people. Nobody bothered to say, hey man, what's going on here? How did you get, they just immediately felt like something underhanded was being done and that I was being given special concessions from WizKids, which was not. In fact, when it finally came out, some stores even started pointing out that they'd already knew about it, and they had done some of the same things. In fact, they did something I didn't even know that I didn't even notice, but Alliance actually had collector trove retail boosters in there, and they ascertained some of those. And be honest with you, if I'd seen that, I would have went straight for the collector's troves retail chase boosters had I saw them available in Alliance. So I watch HeroClix probably better than anybody or more than anybody, but I ain't perfect. If I'd been perfect, I would have snatched those up too, because yeah, I'd like to have some collector chase retail boosters for sale. I mean, wouldn't you? So anyway, I bought some of them, and I spent hours of my life that I really that I won't get back, explaining to everybody over and over again what happened, and it's just really ridiculous, And I made a statement, and I will make this statement publicly right here again. People think that WizKids overlooks me for things, or that I get special privileges. I'm not going to say that I don't talk directly to them. In fact, I have I have a lot of input on sometimes with some of the decisions that are made. I don't know everything, but when it comes with rules, Rock, myself, Aaron has a lot to say with rule changes. We have a lot to say with things that are going on, and I often give WizKids data back on. I give them data back on when I open bricks and stuff up, and so we do talk. I have 3 NDAs signed with WizKids. 3 times I've had to sign NDAs just because they want to have it on file. Point is I'm sworn to secrecy on a lot of things, and but they're able to discuss things with me that are not ordinary. I'm privy to some information. But my information is usually to do with getting pricing for the Rock and stuff like that. And my point is I'm scrutinized harder rather than lesser than what everybody else is. Um, Meaning that because I have this relationship with them and because I have an NDA with them, and I have to be more careful about what I do and about breaking any rules or about doing anything unethical than anybody does. Because if I get caught doing something, it will affect me more than it would just a regular venue, because I'm very dependent on sponsorship. I'm very dependent on um, communication with them and running silver, all of it. It's so, and not to mention that I feel like I'm a powerhouse HeroClix store, meaning that back when I know when Kenny Pena was there, he told me how that they rated that WizKids at that time had a rating system for stores, and I was the #2 store in the world. And this is years ago. This is like the second year that Lucky Dice Cafe existed. I was like the #2 store at that time because of the product I bought and because of the events that I run. They had some kind of grading system. They looked at everything, and I was the #2 store in the world. So for me to jeopardize HeroClix or being able to buy HeroClix, being able to get sponsorship from HeroClix or anything else from WizKids um, is just something that I'm very careful not to happen. So there's no way in this world that I would have purchased and purchased Spider-Verse retail chase boosters unethically when or there was no special concession given to me. Any venue could have done what I do. Just so happens that I call my distributor. Generally, I swear to God, probably I don't think 2 days go by that I don't talk to my distributors because I'm constantly looking, constantly buying. I'm buying HeroClix every week. I'm looking at the websites, and lately I've been talking to them a lot because I've been trying to make sure that we have everything in place for the Rock Cup, that I'm getting stuff on time, the whole 9 yards. So we'll skip that subject. I just wanted to make that out. I wanted to say that publicly. If anybody wanted to know, if anybody wants to go back and listen to it, that's my take on it, and that's exactly what happened. Now, that being said, I want to move on to some other things that's happening. So a lot of you guys have heard. I made a statement that that I can't tell you what the changes are yet. I know that and it doesn't mean me, but Rock was meeting with WizKids today, tomorrow, or something like that, and I was informed of that, and I've known about some changes that are coming, and there's still some discussion of other changes that are coming. So I think that you're going to see next week or very soon. I think as early as Monday, but very soon. We're pushing to get it out because we want people to be able to team build and do things. And there are some changes that are going to be forthcoming from on Silver Age, and we hope that takes effect sooner rather than later, as early as Monday. Hopefully those, even though we have input and so on, but all those changes come from WizKids, not from us. But we do have input. But I do know some of the changes that are coming, and I think they're going to be good. But I will also tell you that everybody needs to take a look at this and be ready for this when it comes. It will change team building. It will, if you have been building teams for Silver Age, for the Cup, some of the changes that are coming will affect some of the figures may not be allowed that you maybe thought you were going to use. Some figures that you didn't know you could use might be going to be available. There were some surprises for me, honestly, with some of the stuff they're doing, but they're there, and there's reasons why. And I think that the format might have a little bit of tweaking, changing done to it, so just be prepared. I don't think that it's such to the point that it's like feels like a totally different format. I think that the changes are going to be more fair, and I think that make the format better. And Whiz Kids and we did listen to, no, not a Silver Age rotation. Um, we did listen to Whiz Kids listens to. They put out a survey, a poll not too long ago, and listened to some feedback from players. And I think that some of these changes are from that feedback, but also some things that they just see problematic. I guess that's the way to put it. Let me read up here. AC. Yeah, there's AC. There's AAC unit. There is a Wi-Fi. there is a Wi-Fi channel. No, it's not going to be a problem with AC. And the problem that I have I had at Lucky Dice Cafe is we had basically 5 different suites, and the units were 20, 30 years old, and that they kept trying to patch it every year, and we kept begging them to replace it. We had one unit that went all the way out just before the cup, and they needed to replace it, and they had to get the owner's permission to replace it because it was a significant amount of money, and they did not get that approved for about 3 or 4 months, which was basically in the fall. In the fall, they finally when everything had cooled down, they finally fixed the AC at Lucky Dice Cafe, and and it wasn't the insulation, the ceilings, the way everything's done. In that store really wasn't the best. I mean, we did what we could, but we were always struggling with AC. Every year in the springtime, or right after the springtime, I had struggles with AC that place. We will not have that this year. We're going to be just fine. Uh, they have to keep it cool in there because they have computers and a lot of electronics and stuff, so that it has to be cool. And I've been in there, and I didn't see any problem with it. And I've also asked that question because I know that was it. It was definitely hot, and that's something that we're not going to miss from the cafe. We'll miss a lot of other things from the cafe, but that's not one of the things that we will miss. Um, I said there's no Silver Age rotation, with the announcement be done at least 2 weeks prior to the event. George, I'm hoping they announce it this coming Monday, Tuesday. I was told that some of the stuff was coming out Monday. I'm hoping all the stuff is coming out Monday. The sooner the better, so people can build and change if they need to change. Hey, Dark Shadow Raven, how are you? Um, all right, so that covers the Silver Age changes as much as I can tell you. I wished I could tell you what those changes are. Hopefully they'll come out next week, and we'll be talking about them next week. I think it's definitely something to talk about if everything happens what I think is going to happen. Silver Age changes. We talked about that. We've talked about the Rock Cup and about the changes that are coming for. The release anyways for Smash, and we went over the stuff. And I'll also pitch right now again, if you guys are just joining, you can get, hey Miguel, you guys can get cases with a Chase retail booster from Lucky Dice, Lucky Dice Cafe, and at luckydicegames.net is where you go, and you can get a good deal on cases. You can pick them up at the cup. You can also pick them. You can also have them sent to you. Whatever makes you happy. But you get a Chase retail booster and 2 bricks for $357. Now, me personally, on that note, the reason I think that was big is, I mean, just to tell you that I've not been really happy with the change to a 12 pack from a 10 pack on bricks, and the reason is because, as all of us were told, that when they did that change, we would be getting more stuff in them. and I don't, and all I've seen so far is an increase in rares, and I don't think that that justifies the kind of change that we wanted to see. Um, I think that if we expected to maybe instead of getting two chases, maybe three chases sometimes, maybe we wanted to get another prime. Maybe we expected to get more super rares. In comparison, for me, I open a lot of bricks. Um, I what it was what I, if price wise, it's the same for me to buy 40 bricks. I get the same amount of boosters in 40 bricks now as I did in 50 bricks. So I'm spending this. I cut my orders down by 10. So for every 50 that I bought, now I'm buying every 40. The reason I did that is because it's the same price and I'm getting the same amount of boosters. And I thought there would be just as much stuff in the 40. And after doing Spider Verse and going through everything that we went through, I found out that that's not the case. Um, the other previous sets were kind of clouded up because of what they put in there. We had an Ultra Chase, and we had God Packs, and we had small sets on Collector's Trove. So we really didn't see what was going to happen until Spider Verse was the very first set that was just a true set, and we could see what the ratios were. So I haven't been real happy with that. So what to make the math, do a little bit of math for you. If I'm getting the same amount of super rares and chases in 40 as I was 50, that means that I'm getting 10 less chases approximately, and I'm getting 30 less super rares for every 50 bricks for what I used to buy. For the same amount of money, I'm getting 10 less chases, and I'm getting um, 30 less super rares, and I don't know how many less primes, but anyway, that makes a yes, I will. I'll be doing a pre-order package for Lantern Legacy also, George. So anyway, I was not very. That affects that value wise. That affects me. And of course, you guys on the long run also it's being affected too. The Chase retail. So when they came back with this Chase retail option, Chase retail booster option, to where I now you can get it's been hard for players to get Chase retail boosters, number one. Number two is now I can put a package together and I can get a whole lot more of them for every two that I buy. Now I'm getting a Chase retail booster that, if I want to open it up, I can. If I want to sell it as a package, I can. But I'm getting those, and it kind of makes up for what was missing in the bricks by buying less from the ratio that I explained, from the 40 to the 50, or the 50 to the 40, however you want to look at it. So from my perspective, the retail Chase boosters, I'm much more complacent and satisfied because of the change than I was before. Um, well, now you have it, Miguel. So I think that that's fair. And I mean, the Chase retail boosters, I think is a good deal. I think it's an opportunity for people to get some of the stuff that they want. I think it's an opportunity we can still use them as prizing. We can sell them. We can do packages with them. It's great. I think it was much needed. I also think that, you know, it was very hard for some stores to get Chase retail boosters. Value-wise, sometimes maybe a small store didn't make any sense. All right, if they can't sell it, if WizKid's saying you can't sell it, and that it's only for prizing only, and you're spending, and the first retail Chase boosters were like $60 or $70, and the store's looking at that, and it's like, okay, I'm getting rewarded to spend $60 or $70, and I can't sell it. What do I do with it? How do I do it? Do I run an event? Well, a small store that's only got a few people, that's not going to make much sense for them to do. I mean, there's not, if you really think about it, a Chase retail booster doesn't have that much in it. It has a chase, yes, it's worth some money, but it also could be a weak chase. It also could be the other stuff that's in it. There's going to be a rare. I mean, it's stuff that's pretty common. Now we do know that it got silly with the bystanders in there, but to be able to get the Chase retail boosters as a store, you had to pre-order them. Okay, so if you pre-ordered it, at that time, you didn't know what was in the Chase retail boosters. So it looked very iffy and chancy for a small store to be able to buy there. Therefore, they were very limited. Therefore, a lot of players didn't have opportunities at them. And then even if you were a big store, you only got so many of them. And again, running an event with them as prizing, they to run a big event, the Chase retail boosters is not enough prizing by themselves. You have to get other pricing and add them in there. It's not. It was. I've done the math. I've done all the things. I have run some stuff for Chase retail boosters, but man, math wise, it was very hard to make it work. And so this new system that they got is better for everybody. It allows us to do. It gives us a lot of flexibility, selling, pricing, giving them away if we want to give them away. Doing bundle packages, incentives for customers, getting them into the players' hands that want them. It's all of these things. It's a positive thing, and I'm glad that this policy. It makes sense to me. I'm glad that they're doing it, and I think that you guys should make sense to you also. That being said, they quit making the bystanders. I'm very curious. As if the terrain that we're going to be that we're going to have come out in the new boosters are going to be as meta impactful as what the bystanders are, because they can do that. They can. Hold on just a second. I figured out where the sound was coming from. Anyway, it could be just as impactful as the bystanders, for all we know. There could be some really crazy terrain in there that's going to affect everything. All right. So now let's talk about the Rock Cup and some things that I know. There's some additional prizing. I don't know if Scott's announced or not, but I think I know that we have some. I know that there will be some unreleased prizing added into places. And I know that there's some unreleased prizing being added in the auction. I just got confirmation today, but again, I don't think that Scott has announced it. I haven't listened. Dennis, you can probably tell me better than this. Dennis has a lot of time on his hands, so he's like an extension to me. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, but Dennis he does nothing really at all. So he just spends his time just reading everything and listening to everybody and talking to everybody. Well, that's a good thing for me, because when I want to know something, all I can do is ask Dennis. Dennis, as when did has Scott went live with V yet and announced everything about the tournament? Hopefully Dennis is here and he didn't run off on me. I haven't seen him make any comments in a minute. But if anybody else knows that answer, please. I know he was doing. I don't remember what the date was. It might still be a few days away. I don't know. But I think that I don't want to share anything or talk about anything. I don't want to spoil anything that Scott wants to spoil. For example, I know that the okay, so yeah, I'm not going to give you details that Scott wants to spoil that. I know that he's going to be talking about his map. I know that, which is really crazy. The map is really crazy. You guys are going to be like, oh my God. If you ever trusted me, you should trust me right now. If you go to luckydice.net, that's where you can sign up. luckydicegames.net. See, I'm already breaking the trust. Go to luckydicegames.net. There you can you can do pre-orders, you can buy HeroClix, but all the Rock and H4H events are there. You can go ahead and prepay. You can also buy the product. You'll see the maps and all the different things that you can buy. There's T-shirts are up for sale again, but you will also see that, which by the way, I'll be adding T-shirts in. I'm waiting for as soon as Scott. You will notice that we're a little lean on some of the bigger sizes. We're not exactly. Scott's got them all out in California, and he's supposed to send me the sizes so I can list them on the site. So there'll be an increase in T-shirts. But if you go there, you're going to see that the map for this year is there. Scott's design map, and you can buy it without knowing what it's named, and it's basically a TBA. Trust me when I tell you to go buy it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about whether you think you're going to like it or not. You're going to need it. You're going to want it. There's a 100% you're going to want and need this map. And you should go ahead and make that purchase now. The only way you can buy it is to go on site and buy it. I think I will have. No, I will have some at the Cup, but they sell fast, and I know I ran out like in day 2 last year. You need to go ahead and buy it. Dennis is a little preview of what the maps. He's in my inner circle, and then Scott has spoiled it to my inner circle on Rock Cup and H4H. And Dennis will listen to him and listen to us. You want the map, buy the map. All money goes to charity anyways. But even if it didn't, you still want to buy the map. If I told you this map was going to be $100, Scott, the new map, you'll see it. It's the Scott Porter design map. It doesn't have a name yet, Nicole. I can't tell you what the name is, even though I kind of know. I can't tell you. It's on luckydicegames.net. There's a whole section dedicated. If you look at the categories, just click the Rock H4H category, and everything that we've got available there. And there's the Scott Porter design map, all the events. You can prepay for them this year, and go ahead and have everything ready to go, so you don't have to be buying things. All we'll be doing is confirming that you purchased it and checking you off on a list. So you're able this year to go and pre-register on HC units, and you're able to purchase your tickets, we'll call them. Also, the VIF package is available right now on, there is a link, luckydicegames.net. That's the website, luckydicegames.net. That's where you go. I've also, if you go on the Rock Facebook page, I have posted that link. Dennis, if you want to, well, yeah, I'll just get the link up real quick. Make it easy. I'll take you right to the categories. Lucky Dice Games.net. See, just like that, I'm there. Then I'm going to go. Then once there, I'm going to hit store product categories, which is at the top of the page. Then I'm going to scroll down, and it says Rock Cup H4H. I'm going to click that, and then there's all the events, all the things that are for sale, and list all the pricing, all the good stuff. And now I'm going to paste that link so you guys can just go straight there. If you click that, you'll go to that's a shortcut to where I just sent you. But the whole website is full of hero clicks, man. So it's not just, you may see other things that you want. We'll be more than glad to ship. You can do a pickup in store. If you're coming to the Cup, you can just pick up anything that you order. The bundle package that I've got is there, where you can go ahead and get your VIF. All these things can be done right there. We've set it up. We've always used two POSs, so to speak, or two. Like, I used to sell stuff on Rock, which Rock is still viable. The Rock website's still viable, and you can still buy your kits. But we're selling product there, and we were also doing stuff last year. Of course, it was Lucky Dice Cafe, and we're using a different system. We would ring the events up there. Anyway, I've taken all the confusion out, and we've just put it all on luckydicegames.net, which is a new website that's tied into our POS. So, like last year, if you showed up and you said, "Hey, I want to buy a rock map," that's no problem. You need to go to the Rock site, you have to go on your phone, go to the Rock site, show me that you bought it, and here it is. Don't have to do that this year. This year, if you want to buy a Rock map, we'll just ring you up and hand you a map straight off of one spot. So it's a lot better. But I promise you guys, promise you, you want this map. I can't wait for Scott to reveal it. But you're going to want the map. It's just unbelievable. The one thing I don't know, I don't have any information, but I assume it's going to be like every year. I don't know what the bystander hasn't been revealed to me, so I'm anxious to see what the bystander is going to be that we release every year. Um, and the auction, I want to talk about that. It's going to be the last thing I talk about before we start doing a brick break. Um, the auction. Um, Last year, as many of you know, crashed at the tail end, and some people would say, "Why did it crash?" And I just did a boo boo, so I'm gonna have to fix that. I knocked myself out of Auxxit. Some people might say, "Why are we still using Auxxit? Why don't we go to another system?" Because every other system would charge us a bunch of money. Auxxit, out of their own graciousness, and they give us this to use for free, and they've always made things right. The first year we had it was a Google bug. Last year it was just that everything ended at the same time, and it just crashed the system. It's just simple as that. Well, this year that's a concern. We know that it is. They are madly testing it. They've been testing the system since Wednesday. And I made a suggestion, and it was from a conversation that Clay Wood and I had. Um, Clay, Clay, he basically said what I was already thinking is that everything shouldn't end at the same time. That it was just a catastrophe waiting to happen. It would be better if we didn't do that. So, my suggestion was to Scott and to Auxxit that we staggered items out. So there's a possibility this year. I think what you're going to see on Saturday night is items definitely staggered, but I also think that we may end some things on Friday night, meaning that, and now also I brought in Clay as a consultant. He's also been working with Auxxit as a consultant, so to speak, over the last year. I kind of hooked that crowd up a little bit, hooked them two up, because I think that Clay is phenomenal, and he has a lot of experience. So for him he's helped there, and we had a meeting with Scott, and I asked Clay to participate, the tech guys at Auxxit and the owners of Auxxit. We had that meeting earlier this week. We discussed the things that needed to be done, the guarantees that needed to be happening, and that it couldn't crash like that. And long story short is that we're supposed to get back with them Monday, Tuesday before Scott's next stream. I think there was a recording with, actually I think it's with V on Tuesday. We're supposed to talk about that a little bit, and what I think is going to happen, don't know. I think we're adding stuff to the auction. Things I just talked to Scott about that are some really good things. So everything that's in the auction is not listed yet. I'm waiting for him to give me some of the stuff we talked on the phone earlier today. But I think that you're going to see some items actually run through Friday night. And I think that you're going to see a staggered auction on Saturday, meaning that there might be 20 items at a time ending now, and 10 minutes later, 20 more items ended. So everything will be ending over a course of an hour or so. And I think that will eliminate any possibility of the system crashing, and still allow everybody to be able to bid and extend times. And in fact, I think that, I'm the one that sets it up as far as how everything's listed, just like tonight. I do this every week. So I will take the list and I will spread it out. And more than likely, the high dollar items will be at the very end, meaning that if we do sets of 20, the last set of 20 would probably be the items that we think are going to be higher. For example, design switch clicks, the designer rock map, the Lantern Legacy factory set, the X-Men factory set, things that we think that are higher value. And I mean, also, I would think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but Scott has he talked about it last week. He has a signed poster signed by the staff of God of War, and and it's very limited. I want to say he told me there's only like 100 or 200 of them in the world, and he got everybody on in that game, all the voices, all the actors, all the people have signed that. It's extremely limited, and that's in the auction. And I would like to think that would bring pretty good money. I mean, that's like one of my favorite games of all the time. If you guys don't know that, but it is. I was playing Easton and I when he was younger. We're playing God of War quite a bit. I thought that time it was just unbelievable. It's the kind of game I like, where you have to do a lot of things, but it's a lot of puzzle solving at the same time that you have to figure out. It's kind of like, to me, it was kind of like playing Mario Brothers back in Super Mario's in the beginning. You had to do all these things. You had to be skilled in getting things to do, but then you had to discover all the hidden things, like to punch a cloud that you didn't think you have to punch, or you discover it in the shortcuts and everything. And that I love God of War, and I think that I hope that they make it into a movie, because I think I hope there's a movie made one day from that, because I really believe the storyline on all of it is just awesome, and the graphics are just awesome, and just everything about the character. It's all intriguing. I think it's one of the best games ever made, just because of the storyline, the graphics, the puzzle solving, everything. And so anyhow, the fact that we're going to have a poster, I think, is pretty cool. Wouldn't mind owning it myself, but I think it's probably going to bring more money than what I want to spend. But I will entertain it, because you never know. It is something that I think is going to be of value. I think it might be something that you could purchase here, even for a few $1,000s, and possibly sell, if you really didn't want it, to make even more, a few $1,000s, because I think there's a huge fan base of people for that game, and I think that there's a huge amount of people that collect those kind of things and pay big time money for that game and others. Okay, I think I've spoke enough. I'm gonna take the headsets off. Really didn't need them on anyway, because didn't take any phone calls tonight. I was very long-winded. Trying to think that I cover everything that I possibly could. I mean, there's always something more to talk about in HeroClix land, but I talked about a lot tonight. Talked about the things I wanted to cover. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the pricing before we start opening up the first brick. I'm going to lay it out. I'll get the tarot card off the brick in just a second. But it's funny, I just sold one of these and packed one of these before I came over. Sheriff G at Whitechapel out of X of Swords. Let's grab a Black Widow out of Black Panther. It's a prime. Let's get a tarot card. Got to get a tarot card. The Empress. Let's do a Fire Lord Legacy card. Let's add in a Blue Beetle. These Blue Beetles sell really good. I have a lot of them, but because I bought out a distributor's old stock, and I don't know how many of these OP kits. So we're throwing a Blue Beetle. There's one I want to get. It's another prime. Got a lot of primes on the table. Let's throw in a Emperor Vulcan from House of X. Let's reach down here, grab an Iron Man marquee, and let's see, do one more. Let's do a Regent out of Secret Worlds Battles World. If you get this, you can see that I've got his little object taped to him so it doesn't get lost. All right, now let's go jump into the brick. We'll throw in the Legacy card. Don't get too anxious, Nicole. It's almost your time of night. Let's go ahead while I'm getting this all set up. And as you guys know, we say this every week, and so far we've been right. Is you guys should let Nicole and listen to Nicole. Okay, there you go. She's right. She's somewhere around 85-90%. I'm picking the super rares for the bounty. So she's going with the wall. If anybody wants to second that, it's the wall, but you can name your own. I'm looking for 2 nominations on any super rare. I got 1 on the wall. Anybody else want to speak up, name a super rare, and we will. There we go, the wall. That was easy. I got 3. People are learning. Listen to Nicole. I used to have a knife in here. My knife has disappeared. Oh, there it is. I'm in it now. All right. So, Nicole, if you're going to pick the wall, you have to call in and do the song. I think that's Pink Floyd. You have to sing the song, or you have to talk Dennis into singing "The Wall" by Pink Floyd. You call the wall, you have to sing. I'm not gonna sing. We make Dennis sing, but Dennis sings well. I really enjoy. One day, we haven't had the chance, but one day I want to go out with Dennis somewhere where there's karaoke or something, and I'm just gonna listen to him sing all night. I'm gonna give him some Jack and Coke, and then we're gonna listen to Dennis all night long. Okay, what is today's date? Today is 4/11. Antonio, my top 5. How you doing, man? Top 5 from Spider-Verse. I think I like the Prime Spider-Man a whole lot. I think the double attack is really good. I think that's one of my favorite pieces. I think that Spider-Man Noir is your pound for pound piece in the set. He's a common and he does a lot. I think he's really good. Legacy cards, I think that nobody's taken advantage yet of the Spider-Mobile. I think that that's really good. I think that's what's the girl's name? Is it Spiderling? That's really good in the set for the Legacy. I think a lot of these characters I've seen it work with the Spider-Man trio that you got. I don't know what the thing is called, but I've seen a lot of people use a lot of the different things out of here, including that Prime I mentioned, and I think the Spider-Man with the hammer is good. I think that his move and attack hurts him a little bit, but played correctly, I think he's really good. Spider-Ham Prime. I like the Prime Spider-Ham. I forgot about him. I played him in a sealed. I think he's really good. All right, I'm going to start opening these up, guys. We got number 1. So we're looking for the wall. We want the wall to come tumbling down. So here we go. Number 1. As I pull some of these guys out, I remember more about the set, and I tell you my feelings on it if I see something that that I really like. I think Mysterio's also pretty good. I think he's really good in the constructed. He's not so great in a sealed, but in constructed, he's really good. Spider's Man is not bad. I think he's all right. So we got an uncommon Spider-Man, Spider's Man. We got a Ghost Spider, which I think she's pretty good too. Ghost Spider common. We got an Inner Demon common, Mysterio common, and a Spider Cat rare. Spider Cat doesn't look that good, but for some reason he does pretty good in the sealed. I think he just he rolls right and all that kind of stuff. I think he's all right, but no, he's not meta. I don't see him being meta. Number 2. Here we go. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. I tried to keep y'all from seeing it. We just talked about this. Who's got number 2? I bet you Dennis can figure it out. If I tell Dennis you should have bought booster number 2, he's going to know it. Yeah, Web Warriors, Dennis. That's right. Dennis, you should have bought booster number 2, and I guarantee you can tell me what's in this booster now. So we got Moreland rare. We got Man Mountain Marco common. We got Spider Totem, one shot, Iceman common, Gwen Stacy uncommon. So who has booster number 2? Anybody gonna volunteer, or are you gonna make me look? Number 2. Number 2. There's number 1. Brandon, you have number 2? Did you buy number 2? Is that what you're saying, Nicole? That Brandon got number 2? I hate the delay. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. Man, that's a lot of lag. Yep, there we go. So, all right, Brandon, congrats, man. You did good. You have the Chase tonight, and you have Mysterio. And Dennis, if he was listening, he should have figured out that that's exactly what was in there, because he wants a Mysterio really, really, really bad. All right, so number 3. Now, so the first chase tonight was a good chase, Mysterio. We are still looking for super rares and primes, and we are still looking for, oh, here's another good figure we didn't talk about, and that's Venom. Venom's a good figure in this set, too. As you can probably guess, there's a Venom here. There's actually a few good pieces in here. So you got Goblin Army common, the Spider, who I think is also a good figure in this set, and you got Spider Bite common, the Goon common, and you got the Venom uncommon, which you guys should have known was coming. 100 points, 60 points. I think he's pretty good at either one of them, but you get a lot from him. And I don't know if you'll see the meta, but I think he's a good piece. Number 4. He's damn sure good. He's damn sure he's one of the pieces that you hope for if you're playing in a sealed Spider-Verse. All right. Oh, I did have something else I want to share with you guys. Let me do this booster and I'll tell you. So we got a Glider rare, an Iceman common, Norman Osborn uncommon, Inner Demon common, Spider Bite common. So 2 things actually. It's a 2-part deal. So guys, you want to listen to this, and you also want to tell your venues and your friends this. Coming very soon, I'll have new rock dice in about 2 to 3 weeks. I ordered my dice from China. I was a little concerned about the price tariffs and stuff like that and getting them over here. I've got it all worked out. We'll have new dice that I've been talking about, which will immediately go into rock kits, and they will be available at the Rock Cup. So that was very important to me to make sure that they were there at the Rock Cup. So new dice will be here, and I ordered enough that we'll have for the rest of the year. So they're en route. On top of that, I can share this with you, is there will be new convention exclusives in the next few weeks also being added into rock kits. New, when I say new, I'm talking about very recent convention exclusives are being added into rock kits. So the pricing is going to get better. They are WizKids used to distribute directly to me. Now it's a process that's going through a distributor. So all I'm waiting is for them to arrive at the distributor, at which time they will then send them to me. And I was told that that was in process, and that was as of almost a week ago. So anytime, very soon, I will have new stuff. I will announce it when it happens. And so you've got a map that just came out. That's a really good map that you guys should want. New convention exclusives and new rock dice, all going in kits. You guys need to purchase and get your rock winner maps, get your rock qualifiers, get your rock regionals if you want to run one. We got plenty of stuff. You need to schedule it. Great new stuff coming in the kits. All right, we got a slide uncommon, I'm sorry, a Mysterio common, Ashley Barton rare, Spider Clone common, first super rare of the night, not the one we were looking for, but we got a kangaroo. I enjoy playing kangaroo in this set, in a battle royal or in a sealed. I like the kangaroo. No, he's not the greatest piece in the world, but he's fun and he can do stuff, and I like him. I like him in that kind in a sealed environment. I don't know that you'll ever see him being played in the meta, but I could be wrong. But I think he's fun in a sealed environment. So we got a Cannon event one shot, a Tombstone uncommon, and a Stunner rare. So one of those today. A Goblin Army common, a Dr. Kurt Connors common, the Lizard uncommon, and that was, to make sure everybody knows, that was booster number 6. And we're moving on to number 7. And it's got some of the figures I've been talking about. It's also got this booster has the highest seller for me in Spider-Verse. I'm not going to say it's the most money made, but it's the highest seller is in this booster. Yeah. All right, so we got a one-shot, assemble the team. And we have a Mr. Negative uncommon, a Spider UK, who I also think is really good, rare, a Mysterio uncommon, a Spider-Man Nor, who I think is awesome. And this right here sells more than anything that I have thus far in that set. More than the symbiotes, more than anything, even more than the Mysterios. And that's the Spider Bot. The Spider Bots, by far, I'm selling large quantities of Spider Bots more than anything else. Number 8. Number 8, I've got a Spider Bot, again, common, a Spider-Man, common, a Iceman, common, a Spider Bite, uncommon, and a one-shot Assist from Another World, and Firestar rare. Number 9. This guy's also fun to play, especially in sealed. Again, I don't know that if you'll see this guy. Oh, this tape's fighting me on this bag. I don't know if you'll see this guy in the meta. I certainly haven't come up with one, but I haven't really tried to build with some of this stuff yet. You got Spider-Man common. You got Spider-Man, well, we got 001 and 006 Spider-Man commons. And you got a Black Symbiote common, And then you got a Gwen Stacy uncommon. This is the guy I was talking about. I think he's pretty fun to play, and that's the Gunslinger, super rare. So that's 2 out of 3 super rares I think we pulled. We're still looking for the wall. We still also have another brick if we don't pull it. I think we will. I think we're going to pull it. I have confidence in Nicole. All right, we have Mysterio uncommon, Man Mountain Marco common, Spider-Man rare 031A. That's also a pretty good figure. Dr. Kurt Connors common, Spider Bite common. All right, now we're moving on to number 11. There should be one super rare here somewhere. Oh, this is a good pull. We were just talking about this guy. What who's got number 11? Now this may count 2 different ways. Number 11. Okay. Carnage Burner. You're going to be happy with your pulls, my friend. You're going to be happy with this. All right. So we got a Spider-Man common, a Ghost Spider common, a Goon common, a Slide common, and then you got the super rare Prime Spider-Ham. That's awesome. That's a very good piece. Congrats, man. Number 12, 411. I see Grace was buying tonight, and it looks like she got to buy some stuff. And I don't think Jay Major was here buying tonight, and I think that made Grace very happy, based on what I saw last week. All right, this is the last booster. So that super rare Prime did count as the 3rd super rare. That's what I was curious about. Spider Clone common, Red Symbiote common, Spider-Man 2099 rare, Spider-Man Noir common, and Scarlet Spider common. That was almost all spiders. All right, so that's the first brick. Now we're going to do the second brick. We're going to add in some stuff. We'll add in another tarot card. I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one. Let's do the Tower. So do the Tower. We're going to add in another Prime. We're adding in Dr. Minera from Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to add in a Cyclops from Regenesis, a prize, one of the prizes. I see an Iron Man 2020. I think that's Ultra. It is Age of Ultron. Let's add in a Green Lantern. This is Dennis I'm sure he's got this, but he would like this one a lot. This is a Green Lantern LE. And one more. Let's add in the Runner. We got the Runner, and that's from Black Panther in the Illuminati. And let's open up this other brick. So we got to add in. So our bounty figure is carried over. We're still looking for the spot. We're going to add in the legacy card also. Not the spot. We're looking for the wall. Darn it. The wall, not the spot. I think the spot was last week. Alrighty, let me shuffle these up a little bit. Not today, but I already kind of shuffled anyway, but anyway, let's do it. Alright. So 13, 4, 11, 14, 4, 11. Man, are we 4 weeks from the Cup? Is that right? Dennis, are you still here? Are we exactly 4 weeks from the Cup? That means I'm 4 weeks. Well, I mean, I guess this coming Wednesday, would that be 4 weeks, I guess? Which means that Tuesday you'll be here in 4 weeks. Is that right? You might have went and took care of the kids, but I think that's right. 6, 17, 4, 11, 18, 4, 11, 19, 4, 11, 20, 4, 11. And 24. So Dennis is checking that. But I think this coming Wednesday, I think Wednesday will be 4 weeks out, I think. It's coming fast. All right. The bounty prize is still the wall. We're starting with number 13. I think that first brick was a pretty good brick. I think everybody would agree with that. We had a good chase, and we had a really good prime. 30 days exactly till he lands in Huntsville. And so it'll be 4 weeks this coming Tuesday. That's pretty cool. All right, so we got the Goblin Army common. We got a one-shot assemble the team. Iceman common. Spider's Man uncommon. Stunner rare. Ghost Spider common. Number 14. We have Spider-Man common, Spider Clone common, Canyon Event one shot, Mr. Negative uncommon, Spider Bot common, and Firestar rare. All right. Number 15. Okay, we got a little something here. Got our first super rare out of this brick. Nicole, when are you guys coming in? What day are y'all going to be here? Okay, we got Spider Clone common. We got Inner Demon common. Spider-Man common. 005. Norman Osborn uncommon. And then we got our first super rare is Lady Stiltman, which the name still bothers me. I still haven't looked up. I want to know the history. I'm going to look up tonight when I get home. I'm going to find out who exactly Lady Stiltman is, because I don't know. I know there's some association. I don't know if it's a daughter, a wife, or just somebody took. I really don't know. But I mean, if it's a daughter, why isn't she just? Why isn't she Stiltwoman? Something like that. I mean, if Brandon was your superhero, no idea yet. We're figuring out on carpooling. If Brandon was a superhero, and he was Brandon Man, and you became, Nicole, a superhero following suit, would you want to be called Lady Brandon Man, or Lady Brandon Man? as a superhero because you took up his mantle, Lady. So Brandon Man, and then Lady Brandon. It doesn't make any sense. Why isn't she still a woman? All right, Spider Totem, one shot. This is booster. I guess I should say what we're on. We're on number 16. We got the Spider Rare. We got the Goon Common, Spider-Man Uncommon, Spider-Man Rare 001, and then we got Spider Bite Common. All right, number 17. Nicole Man. Now, see, you done said it now, so I'm gonna have a T-shirt made waiting for you when you get the cup. It's gonna say Nicole Man. All right, booster number 17. We got Red Symbiote, common. We got Dr. Kurt Connors, common. Spider-Man Nora, common. Gwen Stacy, uncommon. And Moreland, rare. Nicole wants to be Nicole Man. All right, number 18. Number 18, we still got some super rares coming. We're still looking for the wall. Come on, wall. Here's another figure I like in the set, especially in sealed. Again, I don't know that he'll see any play elsewhere, but I like him. Tombstone, uncommon. Ashley Barton, rare. Black Symbiote, common. Spider-Bot, common. And that's Bedlam. Bedlam is pretty good in sealed, especially. $19. Hey, Dennis, there's like a gazillion, 100 million Green Lanterns, and there's only one Nicole Man. Only one. Only one Nicole Man. All right, here we go. We got something this time. We got somebody's about to be happy with something. We're on booster number 19. 19 is good for somebody. Not sure which one it is yet, but it's good either way. All right. We got Martin Lee, uncommon. We got Spider-Man 001, common. The Lizard, uncommon. We got Spider Bite, common, and we have another super rare. We have a good super rare, Superior Octopus. See, Dennis is like one of the few people that would know that answer. But the point is there's only one Nicole Man. Number 20. I don't know what that is. Starting to get a little nervous about Nicole being right tonight. All right. Okay. So somebody, whoever's got, what are we on? We're on 20. 20 is a good pull, guys. Who has 20? Yep, 20 is a good pull. We have we have Man Mountain Marco, Spider-Man Uncommon. We have Iceman Common. We have Spider UK Rare. We have a one-shot web swinging. And does anybody volunteer and say they had 20 yet? Right. Making me look. If you guys would just say, there we go. Congratulations, McCoy. You have Spider-Man Chase. You have the hammer. You have the Spider-Man with the hammer chase. Good pull. 052. All right, number 21. So we still have a super rare yet. It's got to be the wall, right? It's got to be. It's got to be the wall. The wall's got to be. Can't let Nicole be wrong. Oh. If I counted right, I'm really worried now. All right, we have a Mysterio common, a Spider-Man uncommon, a Spider-Punk rare, Inner Demon common, and then we have our other super rare. I think this is the third, but I'm not positive. Could be the second. Silvermane. So I don't know if we pulled three or not. We pulled Silvermane, pulled Lady Stiltman, Disappear, Octopus. Yeah, we pulled three, so I'm not looking too good for the bounty tonight. It's been a while since we've not given the bounty out. Nicole's been hot. People been listening to her. I think that was a good choice, whether we get it or not. Spider-Man Noir, common. Goblin Army, common. Scarlet Spider, uncommon. Glider rare. Spider Clone, common. And there we go. The other chase was, man, you weren't paying attention. I told you you wanted booster number 2. I had this big old thing, like if Dennis is watching right now, he's going to know what's in this one. The booster number 2 was the other chase out of the first brick. And you tell me, Dennis, you wished you would have bought that booster. What was in that booster? You tell me. That booster was the booster that you wanted and that you should have bought. What was it? What was in there? What was the chase? Let's see if he gets it. I think he will. Don't go back and look either. Just tell me what's in there, because I know you know. All right, this is number 23. It's a long delay from when I speak to when somebody answers. All right, we got a Goon common. We got a Spider-Man rare. We have a Ghost Spider common. Yep, see, he got it. He figured it out. We got a Venom uncommon. We got a Mysterio common. He knows. See, he just wasn't paying. He must have been off with the kids or something when we did that first one. All right, last one. Looks like this week we're going to be carrying over the bounty. We have not done that in a while, so it does happen sometimes. Nicole is wrong every once in a while, but it's not very often. Not very often. And if you don't believe me, she tells Brandon every day she's not right. She's not wrong about anything. He right now he's getting a lesson of that Nicole is always right about everything. Man Mountain Marco common, Slide uncommon, Goblin Army common, Spider Cat rare, Dr. Kurt Connors common. That is it. That's number 20. I enjoyed tonight. I think we'll have a lot to talk about next week. I think that we'll get to talk about, I'm hoping we'll have definitive information on the release of Smash. And I believe that I'm hoping that we'll have all the Silver Age information out. And we're going to talk about those things next week. And that's it. Playing peekaboo with Zabby. Peekaboo, Zabby. Abby, peekaboo, peekaboo. I don't know why I said Zabby. Abby, peekaboo. All right. Guys, I'm going to call it a night. Dennis, I'll holler at you either late tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to go home and eat, relax. I've got to finish putting an aquarium together. And anyway, now he just woke up. Anyways, good night, everybody. Remember, LuckyDiceGames.net. Get your H for H stuff there. Get your Rock Cup stuff there. Pre-register. I got some good specials. LuckyDiceGames.net. You guys have a good night.